As I think back about it, David, it's one of those situations where I was standing in the rafters at the vote for the House of Representatives and the Senate, and I look up at the leaderboard, and every single person that voted for the bill to become a law voted yes. There was not one individual who was trying to stop us this time, because I think they realized that this is something that needs to be done in order to assist survivors on their journey. I was elated. I was beyond shocked, actually, to see that we had swept the House and the Senate and that this became a law.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Living the Next Chapter. So glad to have everybody here with us today. Rachell is here on the podcast, and we're talking about her book. She's not only writing a great book to help many people, but she's also out there making a difference in her community, helping others and helping to get laws passed to help those that need this. And she's got a great story that she's here to share with us. I'm so excited to have time with Rachell here on the podcast. Rachell, welcome to Living the Next Chapter. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Huge opportunity, and I thank you for it.
Excellent. So you're an author. You have a book out in the world. Can you tell everyone about the title of your book? Let's introduce that right at the beginning.
The title of my book is He Is Forever With Me. It is a story of my life and my journey to the success that I've been able to accomplish as a result of recovering from survivor of child sexual abuse. In working with my publisher, Liz, at Speakers International, I have learned that I'm not only a survivor, but I'm a thriver. And so that's the message beyond what I've learned after completing my book and getting it out there to the public to read.
Excellent. Rachell, when did the book come out?
It was published in April of 2023, so just a little bit over a year ago.
And as the book has been now out in the world for a year or so, what kind of feedback have you heard back from the community, people who have read the book? Any surprises that you've heard back from people?
Yes, quite a surprise, actually. The main thing that I think that I've learned from this process is there are a lot more survivors out there who don't have an opportunity to tell their story in that way. And so I try to encourage them through a secondary series that I'm working on, which is my A Choice series, to voice their experiences so that it gets them in a mode where they can talk about this traumatic event in their lives or multiple traumatic events in their lives, so that it becomes common discussions with folks, so that those of us who have recovered and healed and are now thriving give power to those who have found it difficult to even speak about their experiences. What I have found is that by me voicing my experiences, I have allowed others to come forward and share with me and others on social media about their experiences. And that's a large part of the healing, David.
Now, not only have you written a book to help people on their journey, which is amazing, you're also very active as far as helping to get laws put into place to help people. Can you talk a little bit about that? I'm fascinated by this part too.
Yes, sir. I actually approached the legislature in 1996 with some information about my personal experience and hoping to be able to turn the curve or turn the corner on being able to get help for those survivors who need assistance, whether it's medical bills or going to school, but getting them on the track for filing against their perpetrators so that they have assistance going down this recovery road. It's expensive to get therapy. It's expensive to go to college. All of the things that a survivor really wants to achieve in their life that has been denied them because of where they are in their life. This particular law allows a civil statute that allows a survivor to file against their perpetrator and get some assistance in going the next step or living the next chapter, let's say, in their life.
You've used the name of my show in that answer. It really makes me happy. Thank you. What's been the results of that being passed? That's another whole level.
I went to, like I said, I went to the legislature here in Tennessee in 1996, and we were defeated. There was a perpetrator that actually fought against the bill and was successful. And so I waited a few years, kind of went in discreetly, found my sponsors, got some support at the legislative level with some local folks and obviously some individuals in the legislature in Nashville who were willing to fight with me. And so combined we combined as a group and were able to go against the perpetrator that stopped the bill coming through in 1996, and we were able to get a successful pass in 2016. The law itself allows you to file against a perpetrator, and it also allows you to file against their estate. So there's some information related to the statute of limitations, which is 25 years, which matches the criminal statute for filing against a perpetrator. But it also allows you within a 3 window of discovery, since it takes an individual a little bit of time to come to terms with what happened to them and to be able to speak about it. It actually allows a statute of 3 years from the time that you recognize the trauma and the abuse to be able to file against the perpetrator. So some legal ramifications there, but we really tried to get the details associated with what we wanted to be able to help survivors based on my experience. It takes sometimes more than a year to come to terms with what happened to you and the reality of it. So we wanted to have them some extra time to be able to file.
That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anybody mention it in those terms, and I'm glad that that's in there as well. You go through this process. You go out there to help people in helping them legally help them. For you, what does that mean to find that this law is passed and you're successful? What kind of accomplishment, what kind of feeling does that feel for you to walk out of there knowing that you've made this kind of change in your community?
As I think back about it, David, it's one of those situations where I was standing in the rafters at the vote for the House of Representatives and the Senate. And I look up at the leaderboard, and every single person that voted for the bill to become a law voted yes. There was not one individual who was trying to stop us this time, because I think they realized that this is something that needs to be done in order to assist survivors on their journey. I was elated. I was beyond shocked, actually, to see that we had swept the House and the Senate and that this became a law.
What a good affirmation for you, right? You're on the right path.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I get a little chills there as you're explaining that. I'm in the room with you. Picturing myself, right? I think there would be quite a few happy dances happening outside after that was declared, right? I'd be so excited for you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
As the book goes out, Rachel, like I'm trying to help marry up a reader with you as the author. Tell me a little bit more about who your book is for. If you could kind of meet this person at a local cafe and you could explain to me a little bit of their story, who is this book perfect for? Can you explain that a little bit more?
I think my audience, David, is really in terms of the child trauma survivor. It doesn't have to be sexual abuse. It's a lot of children are subject to volatile households, and they're traumatized by that. My book is for the individual who has gotten past that experience, but is still in a reclusive mode in order to move to the next chapter in their life. If you don't seek assistance with your recovery, lots of times that individual doesn't get the full impact that life can offer them. Okay. And so for me, the reader that I'm trying to find is the one who needs a little bit of an experience that tells them there is life beyond where they are in their life, in their experiences. And, when you speak of child trauma, the experience itself, you can carry it the rest of your life, or you can lay it at the foot of God and you can move to the next step. And for me, I was involved in a serious car accident that allowed me to step back in my life and to actually look at what I wanted to accomplish, and all of those dreams that I had as a young adult became visible to me. And so I achieved my master's degree in college. which was the dream of a lifetime. I always wanted a college degree. And so when I got my undergraduate degree followed by my master's, it was like, wow, this is pretty exciting. And so I looked around. It was like, okay, so what's next? And the lawmaking experience presented itself with a friend of mine who's an attorney, and she said, "Do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Sure, let's give it a go." And so we did, and I didn't let it stop me. I didn't let it stop me when the legislature denied our first approach, and I decided that this is what my life was meant to be for, was to provide support for those individuals who have been through this kind of experience, to give them the opportunity to see that there's help out there for them. There are, not just in the law, but in, the Department of Disabilities in lots of states, once they recognize and confirm that you are a survivor, that they can help you with things as well. So, you start talking to people and you start telling them how they can help themselves by going to these institutions and requesting assistance, and then going to the lawmakers and realizing that the law itself can help you get the individual recognition that allows you to go ahead and take that next step and say, I am not going to let my perpetrator win. Yeah. It introduces you to the criminal aspect. You can put them in jail, or you can go the civil route and say, I just need some help. I just need some help with my medical expenses, and I need some help with, getting to college, or, some assistance with the recovery part of this process, because all of this can be expensive. And I know that it hinders an individual from getting the help that they need. And that's really what this is about, is to point somebody in the direction where they can get the help they need to move on to the next chapter. So. Good.
And there it is again, the next chapter. I love that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for the one thing I love about podcasting, Rachel, is the fact that listeners can listen to a podcast in privacy. Nobody knows right now that they're listening to this episode. Okay, we have our headphones on. We're on our own. We could be listening to music right now. We could be listening to anything. Nobody knows what we're listening to right at this moment. So for that person, in the safety and privacy of podcasting, they're listening to this conversation. They're here because of the book title. They're here because of you. They're here out of curiosity. Maybe this is part of their story, and they're looking for help. Okay, and nobody knows they're here, and nobody needs to know they're here. But you're here, Rachel, and you can speak to them in the privacy of their podcast listening experience right now. What do you need? What's the message they need to hear from your book, from you as a survivor and a thriver? What do you want to say to that person in the privacy of this moment where they can listen to your voice? What do they need to know?
The best thing I can tell them, David, is don't let anything stop you. I had many dreams growing up, and once I was able to sit and listen to my own heart tell me that there is nothing that can stop me from getting where I want to go. That is what I want to share with somebody is do the recovery path. Make sure that your mental capacity is strong enough to push this aside and let you be the individual that you were driven to be in your life. I wrote my book. I didn't even think I was a writer at the time, David. And so there was my own self-confidence that kept me kind of from trying different things, right? Being challenged by my own abilities to succeed in the world because of the messages that I was fed for so long by my perpetrator. And so knowing that I accomplished becoming a writer and an author, published my book, and then what happened after that was I was able to say it out loud. And I was able to say, wow, look at what I've been able to do as a result of just opening up and voicing where I am with what's going on. And so to that individual, I want to say, don't let anything stop you. Don't limit yourself from the opportunities that will present themselves to you, and don't talk yourself out of trying anything. that you would want to be successful at. I currently am in the process of a secondary book and a series called an A Choice series. It's choices about not being silent. It's choices about making an opportunity for yourself to heal. There's two or three beyond that, but I want to create an opportunity for individuals who are afraid to speak out, to use their voice to help others. And so when I talk to people about my book, it's most of the individuals, and it's sad, David. To me, it's very sad. Well, that happened to me, is what I hear, and so I've been able to turn that around a great deal, not just on social media, but with my book itself. And what has happened is I have been able to plan several more books beyond He Is Forever With Me, to a book series with my emotional support dog. Lots of people don't realize that in the situation that they're in, that they can get emotional support from a pet, from their dog, and that particular animal gives them the strength to go forward even further. I have a child's book series. It's Chester's Challenges, and it's getting ready to be published. And so, going from I am not a writer to I'm an author, I'm a published author, and several books that my publisher has elected to go ahead and help me publish as well, pushed me past the dream, way past the dream that I ever imagined. And so my message to that person sitting next to me who's talking to me about their experiences: get the help that you need, step to that next chapter, and then do everything in your life that you ever dreamed of. Try it, give it a whirl. And know that, God is with you every step of that way. He points you in the direction that He wants you to go. And my faith is what has carried me down this road, David. And so knowing that, I can help others who have survived this just get out of their shell, right? And be strong and know that what that individual taught you or tried to teach you is not true. And overcoming those obstacles is what I want to share with all of the individuals that I come in contact with. And that's basically where it starts. When they share with me that it happened to them, then what I do is say, well, let me see if I can't help you get beyond that. And that's really the purpose of what I'm trying to do in all different kinds of ways. So
on top of being helping with laws to be passed to protect people writing books, you're also available to help in as a speaker at parental events and clinical groups. You're available to do that, right? To come out and support the message and be there in a public forum to help people. Talk a little bit more about your desire to speak more about this topic.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. I didn't expect that when I came down this road, but I have been provided the opportunity. And one particular event that comes into mind is I was invited to a Everyday Heroes United event back in the fall of last year, and I was there to tell my story. I was there to share with individuals how you get past the trauma and how you step into that next part of your journey. And what I discovered was it was quite elating. I was nervous, obviously, but I never dreamed that I would be able to impact lawmakers and police enforcement. Yes, sir. Police enforcement. And the people that attended this conference were individuals who were learning more about surviving itself. And so when I told my story and ultimately a standing ovation at the end, it was like, I can't even imagine how much more I can share with the rest of the world in speaking engagements to show them and to let them feel the emotion associated with surviving this type of a trauma. In order to be able to get to that next place in our lives where we're empowered by what we're doing and we're energized by what we're doing and we're carrying the passion of what we have as our dreams go forward become realities. And so for me, the speaking engagements have gone so far beyond what I ever dreamed it was possible from the words that I wrote, David, and I'm very blessed, very blessed.
So joining us off microphone today as we're doing this is actually Liz Mitchell from Speakers International. And before she came and joined us on our call today, Rachel, you were talking about her and what she means to you and her support for you. I know she can't come off mic right now, so we can talk about her all we want. So tell us, Rachel, how much does Liz mean to you? What has she done for you through the process? And like, why is this person so special to you? I want to throw the light on her a little bit because she can't do anything about it. She's gonna have to listen to this. Tell me more about Liz and what she does to help authors like you.
Liz is a very special person to me. Like I said a little earlier, it was quite by surprise that I was actually connected with her and how all that happened. She has provided me with opportunities that go well beyond what I imagined and my book would put forth for me. And she and I together have come up with ideas about how to get my message to the world in order to help those survivors who are scared, who are still in the throes of their trauma, just starting to recover. She has given me the opportunity to speak beyond my book in other books, and with the emotional support perspective from my dog Chester. I rescued him, and what I discovered was that he rescued me.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has been pivotal, David, in my success. And I can't speak enough about what she means to me and the joy that she has brought to my life by giving me the opportunity and empowering me to be the speaker that I can be. And additionally, an author I never expected to be able to be.
Right.
So she's been pivotal in my dreams coming true, David. And that's what she does for speakers is she lets them give their side of the story and then some. How's that?
I love it. Because when we were,
a joy.
yeah, when we, just for the listeners listening in, we were having a little bit of technology problems, as what happens most time when you record over the internet. And when Liz was having a hard time connecting, Rachel, I know you're like, oh, but I need Liz here. And she is here. She's in the chat and she's helping us kind of lead us down the path here. But I know that you need her, but I want just you to know, Rachel, that you're doing such a great job here on the podcast. And just to build you up a little bit, you're a great guest. You have a great story to tell. And getting yourself out there, as maybe as uncomfortable as maybe technology can be here from time to time and things that you have to overcome to do this, you're doing an amazing job. And the more people that hear your voice on stage, in the courthouse, or through your book, the better. So I just want to encourage you that you are an amazing guest. So please do more of this.
David. Oh, David, thank you so much for saying that, sir. I still struggle with the confidence level sometimes, but those are amazing compliments, and I thank you for them, sir.
It's excellent. So, okay, as far as getting the book, finding out more about you, Rachel, where do we send our audience? How do they connect with you? Because I know there's people that listen to the show that are looking for speakers just like you, and they use this podcast as a way to find their next great speaker. So how do we do that? Where do we connect with you? Where do we send people so they can be in touch with you?
Oh, the best thing we can do is send them to Liz.
There you go.
She is speakersinternational.com. She coordinates the public speaking that I do. She handles a lot of the technical aspects of getting that set up where we need to be and when we need to be there. So Liz is the person who is working that aspect of my career, and I'm certainly willing to share any information that we need to get folks to in contact with her. So that's speakersinternational.com, speakersinternational.com. Liz, if you want to put in the chat an email that you want me to connect folks with, I certainly would love to do that. And also, what we have discovered, David, is that we've had some direct messaging with folks on Facebook. Author Rachel Freed is my user on Facebook. I'm also author Rachel, and that's RACHELLFREED, author Rachel Freed on Instagram. And so anybody that would like to connect to us that way, we certainly would welcome those as well. Liz has posted in the chat. You can reach her at Speakers International at liz@speakersinternational.com. And she's the one who is taking care of that aspect of this career move. And it's a successful one at this point, David. I'm just amazed at what she's able to accomplish.
Rachel, I feel like I'm on your podcast right now. Sitting back listening, you're doing everything perfect.
Well,
So
thank you.
this is so cool.
If you don't mind, just give me a second. If you would like to order my book, you can go to heisforeverwithme.com, and the link is right there for Barnes and Noble. We published it out. There's a Kindle book and some other things, but heisforeverwithme.com is where you can actually get my book, and we'll be linking in the HOA series from that webpage, and Chester's books coming forward from for a child's perspective on how to deal with some of these things. We'll be following that as well. So I appreciate you letting me do that.
Wow. Okay, before we go, Liz, I see you in chat. Thank you so much for helping us set this up. Thank you for being a supportive person in the chat. There she says thank you. We're so glad to have you here, Liz, and please bring us more amazing people like Rachel. I would love to have them on the show. Now, that's an open door for you, Liz, to bring on these great people. Rachel, to you, thank you so much for being part of this podcast. Thank you for saying the words next chapter so many times that it makes me smile. And again, I'm looking forward to knowing what's going to happen for you in the future. Keep us in mind as new books come out, new projects come out. Please come back and let's celebrate the upcoming launches of all the other great things you're doing. The door is going to be open for you. Come back anytime. Okay, Rachel?
David, that is fantastic news for me. I welcome the opportunities because I know we will have a relationship going forward with some of these things that we've talked about. And I do want to say this is an amazing opportunity. And just to be honest, never dreamed, David, that I would be at this point to be able to talk to other survivors and give them the help and the support and the assistance that they could use if they're afraid, if they're in a situation where they're a current situation where they are being victimized. Maybe you don't have the money to purchase my book, and that's okay. But just know that if you just have to step up and walk out and know that you're going to be taken care of and that there's somebody here to help you, please contact me. And we'll get you the help that you need to move to live the next chapter in your life. David, I'm just amazed at how that just resonates with me. And I'm so proud that you have invited me here to talk to folks.
Awesome. Everyone, this is author Rachel Freed. Liz is also here with us as well over at speakersinternational.com. Thank you to you both for making time to do this. And congratulations on a great book. Congratulations on helping so many people. And I'm looking forward to more great stories coming from you. Thank you both.
I appreciate it. And thank you very much, David.
Hey, thanks for being here for the Living the Next Chapter podcast. So glad to have you as part of our family of listeners. There's a seat for you just here on Living the Next Chapter. And I'm so happy that you have listened to all the way to the end. Wow, you are now my new bestie. I want to let you know that I host 7 other podcasts on top of Living the Next Chapter. Yep, 8 total. One of them is called the How To Podcast series. If you are thinking, you know what, Dave, this podcast thing seems like a lot of fun. Well, I'll give you a secret. It is. It's a great, amazing, fun time where you can get to meet great people, get your word out there, promote your book, promote what your coaching program, whatever you're doing. Podcasting is great. And if you want to learn how to do this, what you're hearing right now, head over to howtopodcast.ca and look up the How to Podcast series on YouTube, whatever app you're listening on. You'll find me there. And I'd love for you to come listen to how to do this. And if you're interested and have questions on how to podcast, reach out to me at howtopodcast.ca. Thank you for listening. Talk soon.